All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use trig ratios. We've been using them to first find the actual ratios, then to be able to find the missing sides. Now we're going to use them to find the missing angles. So right here we have a little symbol that we call theta. Now, based on the ratio that we have the adjacent side and we have the hypotenuse. We have 12 over 20, so we're going to be able to use cosine. So what we want to do is find cosine of theta, which is equal to 12 over 20. To be able to find what theta mean, or theta, the value of theta, which is the angle measure, we're going to take what we call the arc cosine. The arc cosine looks as cosine of negative 1, 12 over 20. Now this is pretty simple. You're going to go into Delta Math and use the calculator there. And you can go, the calculator is up here. You can go ahead and use, let's move this out of the way, this calculator where it's going to have right here under functions, cosine, arc, sine, and arc tangent. Now the important part here is that this is set in radians. We need to switch it to degrees. We need to be able to switch it to degrees so that we can get the specific angle measure. Now we're finding arc cosine of 12 over 20. So if we want to do 12 over 20, as you can see, we get the answer of 53, 1-3. We're going to round it to the nearest degree. So the answer here, theta, is equal to 53. So this angle right here is 53. And now that we know that angle, we should be able to figure out this angle as well. Now let's look at this again. We have theta, and now we have the opposite side and the adjacent side. So to find this, we're going to use tangent. So tangent of theta is 2 over 2. Now that 2 over 2 can actually be simplified to 1, because that's 2 divided by 2, which is 1. So we're going to find arc tangent of 1. So back in our calculator, we have arc tangent. Let's go ahead and delete that. We're going to find arc tangent of 1, which is equal to 45 degrees. So the answer here is theta equals 45. Let's look at our other examples. Now, similar situation, we can say we have our opposite side and we have our adjacent side. So again, we should be able to use tangent. We're going to use tangent of theta. And we can go ahead and convert that to a decimal, that's no problem. So 3 over 2. So 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. So let's just go ahead and put it as a decimal to make things easier. 1.5 divided by 2. That's opposite over adjacent. So we're going to find theta is equal to arc tangent of 1.5 over 2. So back into our calculator, we're going to have arc tangent 1.5 divided by 2, which is equal to 36.8. That could be rounded to 37. So we're going to go ahead and do 37. And finally, for number 4, we have our opposite side and our hypotenuse. So this time we're going to use sine of theta, which is 5 over 13. And we have theta is equal to arc sine of 13. So arc sine of 5 over 13. Arc sine of 5 over 13 is equal to 22, which can be rounded to 23. So this is 23.